Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS for the week of January 9th, 2017. I am Mimi and I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hi.
And we have got a pretty crazy week coming up. We are building into a full moon in Cancer, and this full moon comes along with grand cardinal cross energy, so we'll get all into that. And we have Mercury, newly direct, shifting back into Capricorn this week. So we're going to kick off this week by looking at the moon shifting into Cancer on Tuesday, tomorrow, January 10th. And so the moon into Cancer is like preparing us. It's building into this gigantic full moon. So you're going to start feeling, you're going to start feeling some of the feels. The moon in Cancer is a very feeling moon. The moon actually rules the sign of Cancer. So it's really a time to get into your feelings. And I've got perfect cards for this, I think. I've got the maturity card, I've got the completion card, and I've got the experiencing card. And to me, these cards together, it's like, hey, you've got to feel these things. You're meant to feel these things that are coming up for you. This is part of your wholeness. This is part of you understanding who you are. This is part of putting together the pieces of who you are. Now, I do want to mention a really interesting thing that's been coming up, and I think this may be because Mercury has been, playing so much shift. But the role that thought, plays in feeling the feelings. And one of the things I've recognized in my life based on my moon planet or my moon placement, my moon planets, is that, our thoughts can so much influence our feelings, and vice versa.
Uh-oh. Mimi lost Mimi. Well, I will take over until Mimi comes back because I don't know when she will be back because her computer gets a little wonky once in a while. So what I will do is I'm going to start off with my card. And the card that I have is the Safe to Fall card. So as we build up for this full moon, we all have to remember to let go and that we do have a divine safety net that we might not be able to see. So I have the Nothingness card in reverse. So things are, as we are prepping for this full moon, we may not be able to see in the dark. We might not be able to see what's going on. And I really like the quote. There's this quote, one of my favorite quotes. It's like, when we get to the darkness of the unknown, we have to have faith. And faith is having one or two things. Faith is knowing we will have something solid to stand on, or we will grow wings and fly. Hi, Mimi. And so this is the energy that I'm getting for the full moon, is that we're going to have to get into this place of, even if we're walking into the darkness, be willing to fall, be willing to surrender, because what will happen is you will be safe. It is safe to fall. All right, Mimi, go ahead. Sorry.
Technology loves us. That was like 3 minutes in, not even. I like what you're saying. Faith, all the way. What was I saying? I was talking about the feelings thing, and really feelings and thoughts, and really not getting it mixed up, confused, but really being present in and through yourself and what you're feeling in your body with this energy. And I've got the Seeker card from the archetypes. I'm using the archetype cards again because I've been just loving these. And the Seeker is like the thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. The shadow attribute, the inability to commit to a path once found. But I'm feeling like so strong, this feeling of, during this moon energy, don't let yourself be seeking through the mind so much, but seeking deeper in and through yourself. One of the best things that you can do when we get into like T-square energy or cardinal cross energy, which is what we're going to be building into, is falling into your center. And in your center is yourself, it's your core, and that's where the feelings are. So if you find yourself up here with all the feelings, that's a call to come drop in at this time. And I also have, and this is so perfect, I gave this advice to somebody last night. I have the card from Keepers of the Light, I think that's what this thing, Angels Prayers. Express your creativity. Thank you, angels, for helping me express my inner creator. So this person was like, I'm feeling like too much. I'm feeling all these things, and spinning all this stuff. And I was like, you need an outlet for your too muchness. Because I think all of us sometimes feel even the feelings and the thoughts with the feelings, it becomes too much. And if you have an outlet that's not too much, an outlet to fall into, an outlet to put your faith into, whether it's dancing, you can't be too much when you're dancing. You're supposed to be too much when you're dancing, or putting it into your art or into your writing. You know, this is, I think, a great energy to fall into, move into, put yourself into as we work into this in really intense energy. So if you're feeling all those things, put it into something physical, and that will help you drop into the center of your light. Nicole?
Yeah, you know, and I'm from my Osho cards, I have the ripeness card. We're ready to do this. We're all ready to have this. It feels like a bit of a pop, or like what Mimi said, like a fall in within ourselves. And another thing that I'm getting with this energy, yeah, I also have the silence card, which is the moon. So we can't go into, because you don't know necessarily what you're going to get, you have to stay silent in this. You can't let yourself get worked up. You have to stay in this place of like, just allow what arises to arise, what opens, what unfolds to unfold, because you might be surprised yourself of something that comes up, because in this grand cross, it's like a bunch of things pulling on each other. Well, that's such a good way, right? It almost feels like we're being pulled open. We're being pulled in every direction, so we can open from the center. We can open up to our true self. And this is the building of it. This is not the actual grand cross. So with this, I have the success in reverse, meaning this is not, you know, don't get ahead of yourself, like wait till it happens, like don't try to move forward too fast, because it's good. I mean, I have the miser card. The things we hold on are going to be exposed. The things that do hold us back will be exposed, and just surrender. I'm getting the, again, right? Look, we're going from the miser to the safe to fall. We're holding, and it's like, okay, it reminds me of the first Nemo movie, Finding Nemo, and Marlin is at the back of the throat of the whale, and Dory's like, it's time to let go, and he goes, well, how do I know if it's going to be safe? And she goes, you don't. You just gotta let go. It's time. And I think in this full moon energy, it is time to let go, and we will see what happens on the other side. And we'll see what the cards say about the other side.
Right? What do they say about the other side? They say good things about the other side. Speaking of the other side, I've got the schizophrenia card, and I love this. For this full moon, Grand Cardinal Cross, I want to mention it's also Venus conjunct Neptune, and we also have Mercury finishing up in Sagittarius. So Mercury at 29 degrees, this master level degree, and moving into Capricorn energy. I also want to mention that much of this Grand Cardinal Cross energy is happening at 22 degrees, that master level degree. So there is intensity in this energy. But yet, like Nikki said, I almost called you Denise. Did I know you as a Denise in a past life?
Possibly. I don't know. I've been watching Outlander, so who knows how many, like, I don't know.
Love Outlander. I'm obsessed with Outlander. I read all those books. Anyways, but like Nikki Denise says, you gotta fall into your center. You've got to fall into your heart. This is the wisdom of this card, is like letting go of both these sides and falling into the center, falling into the soft clouds, trusting that they're there for a reason. And that's what I get in this energy, is like, ultimately, this is a major transformation. It's a major transformation of you showing up for how you are feeling and knowing that it's perfect in this moment. It's hard sometimes. This Cardinal Cross energy, we've been through this Cardinal Cross energy quite a bit in the last few years. And quite a bit of the intensity of the last few years has been, you know, this pulling of ourselves. And the Cardinal Cross, the cardinal signs are the leaders. They are the ones who like kickstart, jumpstart the energy. So to me, this is what's happening. It's kickstarting, it's jumpstarting the energy. And here I have the Fool with this transformation energy. But something needs to be let go of. These things, these sides that are pulling you need to be let go of so you can fall into your center, into who you are, the courage card and the flowering card, into your growth. And I was gonna look it up, but then everything went wrong technology-wise, so I didn't look it up, but this is not your demise. This is your, and then I don't know what that word is, but this is your like coming into yourself. This is your growth. This is your stepping up into your self energy. So just remember that in this transformation energy, this is the death card in traditional astrology, but look at this transformation. It's to begin this new presence of yourself. So it's not your demise. This is your, the word is like at the back of my tongue. It's not on the tip of my tongue. It's at the back of my tongue. But
it feels like it feels like a gateway.
It absolutely feels like a gateway in this. Now, one of the other things that's really interesting in this cardinal energy that's, you know, got you pulling you all these ways, we also have Venus conjunct Neptune. And so Venus conjunct Neptune, Venus and Neptune can both get caught up in rose-colored glasses and love. And so between the energy of the cross, which has all these cardinal signs, which is like, just go for it. And then this Venus-Neptune thing, which puts you in like la la land, and Mercury shifting from one sign to another and kind of being a little offline. Make sure you are really centered in yourself, and that any steps that you take, you are well aware of what you're doing. Make them soberly and really in the presence of your heart and in yourself and in with your guidance. Like I said, be very, very present with yourself in this energy, because between these things, you may find yourself acting from a place that's not authentic to yourself. You may find yourself acting from a place of shoulds. You may find yourself acting from a place of like, this is my only hope. This is my only option. So I shall do this. You know, it's not feeling like the core action. It's not feeling like an action from the light place. It's feeling like an action from the head place, which is why I keep telling you, get in your body, feel deeper in, so that you can grow into this. You don't have to force something to happen. However, if you do, at the same time, it's moment to moment. The universe always has ways of working these things out and moving these things through. And this is, you know, it's a new beginning thing. And every step, here's the Sagittarius side of things, every step is a new beginning. Every step does help you, you know, form your path. But really be aware of this energy in this and really tune into your inner guidance. I've got the guide card. I've got the don't hate, meditate card. You know, I also have the guidance card. I have a whole bunch of cards because there's so much going on in this. You know, really be present with yourself in this energy, because it's just that feeling of like, it feels like it's the edge of a cliff. And, you know, the universe is giving the option like, well, what do you want to do from this cliff? And you're like, well, I don't see any other options, so I'm jumping. And maybe that is your option. Maybe that is the right thing for you to do in this energy. I mean, this is what the Fool's doing in this card. He's taking that step, you know. But to me, I have one more card that I'm going to jump into. I decided to do a fairy tale card for this, and I pulled the Fool in the fairy tale thing. And this, to me, feels like the cliff that we're meant to jump off of. It's a Little Red Riding Hood card. And in this card, it talks about, like, the wolf, which I think the wolf in this case is that fear, which is like, forget everything and run. That may be jumping off the cliff for you, is that fear energy, because I don't know exactly what else I'm supposed to do. However, it also says, you know, the story of Little Red Riding Hood, and the wolf, allegedly in the true story, eats Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, and then the huntsman frees them. He cuts open the wolf and frees them. He cuts off this energy of fear, and that apparently is the energy of the higher consciousness, the grandmother and the child coming together. The woodsman allows Little Red Cap and the grandmother to be reborn, symbolizing humanity liberating the individual soul and allow it to join the spiritual hierarchy of the planet. So, you know, there's a greater cliff for you to jump off of than this action that you think that's going to push you there. To me, it's not so much an action. And I see this as this Venus-Neptune thing. It's this inner union, body, mind, spirit, soul. It's falling into the center within you. So really be aware of your actions during this energy, and notice if you're trying to force this action, to force this thing that can happen, this alchemy that can happen right inside of you. So really trust your inner guidance with this. Nobody can tell you if something that you're doing is right or wrong. Trust your inner guidance. Don't hate, meditate, and be present with yourself for this transformation. This is not your demise. This is your fill in the blank. What is it for you? I love that. Maybe that's why I can't get the word, because it's your word to fill in there. What is it when it's not your demise? Nicole?
Well, so I pulled a card for each one of these, and then I did what the whole totality of all of this like collaboration is. So the first thing that I got, so I did the full moon in Cancer just on its own. And what I have is I have the source card. This is telling me that this is going to allow us, it's not just allow us, it's going to, I hate to use this word, but like, not trap us, but it's going to pull us in. It's going to make us connect to source. We don't have any other option, because if you don't connect to source, then that's when we get locked into the darkness. We have to find our own source light. What source? What God? This energy reminds me so much of God. So we have to find and embrace and surrender into God for this full moon. Just surrender to God. Then the next one I have is for the Cardinal Cross. Now I have the success card in that same position, upright. Here is our time for our success. This is not your demise. It is your arrival, is what I get. It is your arrival. It is time to arrive. It is time to claim your ownership. It is time to claim your light in this Cardinal Cross, to sit as things pull on you and stay right here in the middle and know who you are and surrender into the light of God. The tricky part of the entire energy, the trickiest part, believe it or not, is that Venus and Neptune conjunction. What I'm getting in the Venus-Neptune conjunction is the experiencing card in reverse. This card reminds me of trusting the experience, but this might want to get us into an escape. So if the energy is too much for us, do you tend to go towards your vice? So that could be codependency. It could be an escapism like drugs or alcohol or marijuana or sex or whatever that is. Watch what that might be for you, so you do not want, it's the avoidance of the full experience, and that can unground you, and that was the one that can trip you up and not make it solidify or become real, because we're scared of our own pain or our own guilt. Our mind might want to take us out of it, so we can't rebirth and have that awakening. We can't have that blossoming or that new vision. So another card that came up for that for me is the Master. We might have to call it a Master. And the Master, the one that came up was, it's male, and I believe it's Shiva, actually. And Shiva is known as the destroyer, but he's also the creator of the universe. So creator, again. And it's also coming in from, so the core of what might trip you out of this and want to get into the escapism is the core relationship you have with men, the masculine, or your father. And this is a feeling unsafe. It's also some pain that wants to come through, maybe even a stress around safety, around money, or around feeling physically protected in some way, okay? So that's that. So everything together, the cards I have everything together is the maturity card, just like Mimi had. So this is a time for us to growth, to blossom in ourselves. This is also the Ace of Pentacles in normal tarot. So this might be opportunity for more stability, more money. And this might be a breaking open, because it is Cancer, mother, father energy. But it's also like how we're nurtured and then how we're physically provided for, okay? So what you might have to get into is a new thought about how you are nurtured, and it's okay to nurture yourself, and how you're provided for. So physically, like monetary, like money, you might have to change some money stories and realize that you don't have to work your hands to the bone to be physically provided for, that there's more, it's almost like a spiritual inheritance that we have to go through. And again, getting beyond the illusion and having this beautiful trust. What did I just say with the it's safe to fall? Are you still stopping yourself from really trusting and allowing yourself to fall and believe these amazing things that might be coming through for you? Because this is a time of blossoming, arrival, blossoming. I keep saying that, right? So this is a big time of arrival, of blossoming, and of planting new seeds and having new crop. And the two things, it's the like they're both leaping. Sister of Shambhala shows the way, and the Princess of Purity leaps across. This is definitely leap of faith energy, surrender. And the entire message to all of this is, when in doubt, surrender to God. That's it. When in doubt, when in fear, when in darkness, just surrender to God. It's all God. The fear, the joy, the laughter, the struggle, it's all God. It's all good because it's preparing you for the deepest truth, that it's all source. It's all source. Come back to source. Amen.
Hallelujah. Yes, absolutely. Woo! So, not to be outdone, Mercury is also shifting that day, like we said, into Capricorn. It's moving from 29 degrees to 0 degrees. So both of those degrees are, serious energies. That 29, and this is just feeding into the energy, because that energy at the 29 degrees, really not letting your thoughts be your master in this energy, but allowing them to help you align your focus as you then step into this transformation energy of Mercury at 0 degrees Capricorn, shifting from the inspiration into the physical. And, it's a really interesting thing, these cards that I have. I feel like I pulled this combination just last week, and it may have been around Mercury as well. And I'm going to show it again because I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. I have the sharing card and I have the thief card. Didn't I have this combination like last week? I feel like it's like that willingness to share your light, right?
And feeling like maybe somebody's going to take that idea. And yeah, we talked about the thief.
Yeah, exactly. The thief and the sharing your light. Here we have this energy again. And so I'm going to read the thief card. The light attribute sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Your light. And here we have the queen of fire, the queen of wands, sharing her light. The shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think that you lack. And so to me, this energy is saying, even in this wonkiness, come into yourself, come into your light, and ask yourself, how are you meant to show up? You are a lighthouse. Nobody can steal what you have. And there's going to be people who try. There's going to be people who maybe do not respect your words, your wisdom, your boundaries, any of those things. And that's up to you for how you're going to show up in this. But don't let it hold you back. Don't let it hold back your light. You came here to shine. This is the energy that I'm getting. How are you going to show up with this new paradigm? How are you aligning your focus with your light and then bringing it forth, making it manifest, bringing it into the physical energy of the planet? So I have the Empress card. Look at this strong feminine energy that's within this. And this might be part of the issue. This may be part, and this, may come up with when Mercury conjuncts Pluto officially, finally, because it went retrograde right at the Pluto energy. This may have to do with those past life paradigms where the feminine was not allowed to completely take her reign. I work with people, on a regular basis who are still holding back because they were either, squished, so to speak, maybe in multiple ways, not necessarily squished, but they're, they were suppressed, or whose work ideas were stolen and used. And so this is like, how do you step into this new paradigm moment to moment, taking these steps, this new paradigm of stepping into yourself and into your light. And this will be your work as Mercury moves through Capricorn, as Mercury moves over Pluto, which we'll talk about, you know, when that hits in like 2 weeks-ish. We'll talk about that energy. But as we build into it, how are you being asked to step forward and transform yourself? Because here we have more transformation in this energy to match all those other things that we've already talked about with this energy. Transformation. Archangel Zedekiel, and it says, thank you for Zedekiel for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. So it's letting go, facing those fears, feel everything and relax, or feel everything and rise, or face everything and rise. This isn't, you know, forget everything and run. That's how I like to do fear. It's like, I'm forgetting everything that I've ever learned. I'm forgetting all of my wisdom. I'm forgetting my faith. Forget faith. Running, I'm going to Mexico. That's my process. And then I'm like, oh wait, who am I? Okay. You know, and going back to what Nikki said, it's all God. But don't let the past, don't let what isn't anymore, because the past does not exist anymore. You learn from it, but it does not exist anymore. Do not let the past create your now. Create your now from your light, from who you are now. Face everything and rise. Feel everything and relax. You got this energy, and the universe is supporting you in your transformation. This is not your demise. This is your blank. Nicole?
Well, so what I'm getting is a complete paradigm shift of how you learn and how what is possible in a new way of learning for you. And I think this is not just for us as an individual, but us as a collective, that we have to come out of one way of learning to get ourselves into something that's a little more playful. So this is kind of the way we learned before, was with force or with struggle or with like really hard lessons where things had to be blown apart, things had to be painful, things had to be like war and pain and suppression. And that is not the paradigm on this planet that we want to create. We're all realizing as a collective that that isn't where we want to go. We learned something from the energy of war, and that's why it was available to us. But do we actually want to continue to create in that way? Do we still want to be in the paradigm of we get our best lessons when we struggle? And it's, those things are very relevant, but can we get the same lessons as we trust and as we play and as we trust the inner child, or we trust our creative and imaginative nature of ourselves? And that again is the inner child, the imagination. Can we make love, literally, can we make love, not war? This is where we're at. This is the choice that we have. And I know this is funny with the Mercury thing, but this still feels like the connection between, so Mercury and Capricorn, this is the way we're communicating, and this Capricorn energy is bringing it to that earth sign. So we're bringing it into this earth. We're making new plans. So how do you want to plan the rest of your life? Do you want to plan the rest of your life with struggle or with making love? So if you want to make love, then you have to deal with the things that stop you from trusting pleasure, trusting your sexuality, trusting love, trusting unconditional love, because that's what's keeping us away, that lack of connection, thinking we're all separated. The Republicans versus the liberals, Meryl Streep against Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's against each other. But can we listen to each other? Can we find that common ground where we bring our imagination and just admit that nobody has the answer, that not one group has the answer, that we all have to come together with our own perspective to heal the connection, to heal the collective, to heal the way that we're going about doing things, right? And so we have to we can't heal heal the consciousness from the consciousness that was created. So we have to pull it out. We have to come into a place of this innocence, this inner child, to start that new beginning. And each one of us, how we do that is we have to come out and we have to be courageous in our own light. And as you ground into your own light and you begin to Mercury that, communicate it, as you communicate it without anger or fear or trying to prove yourself, from a place of truth, from a place of your heart, from even deeper than the place of the heart, from the place of your soul. What is really in there? Not from a place of proving, right? From a place of authenticity, from a place of the truth, the core truth of it all. Then we start bringing that we birth that out, and we end up starting to participate together. That also is very cardinal cross, allowing these different energies, these different perspectives. The cross, they're coming from many different perspectives, but they're coming right here. They're giving, receiving their particular, one's not right and one's not wrong. It's just a collaboration of different opinions to find the whole. And without one, it wouldn't be in its entirety. So we have to trust what's coming through us and then listen and receive the other person's information to make this collaboration. It's not competition. One person's viewpoint's not better. It's a collaboration. It's a joint effort. And as we let go of our agendas, that's when things can be birthed. We have to let go of struggling, and we have to, this is play with me. We have to play with each other. Learn how to dance to the same music with our own beat. And then that becomes, I almost play our own instrument together. I have a flute, you have a tuba, that they have percussion, they have this. And if we all play together, it turns into a symphony. But if we're all just beating on our drum and playing our instrument and we're not coming together, then it's a holy hell mess. And that's what we're seeing. So we need to start play with me, play with God, play together. And as we play together, that's when we start creating harmony.
Woohoo!
Wow, sermons are coming at me.
I know. I was like, this is another hallelujah. Here we go. It's so perfect and funny on the way it works. And here I have the card to match Nikki's for this. The moon is also shifting after the cardinal cross on Thursday. It's shifting into Leo, the sign of the inner child. And so this innocence, this love, this joy is saying, let me in, let me in. I'm an important part of this process. I'm an important part of your wholeness. I'm an important part of your light. Now I have with this the mentor card. And the mentor card, the light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character, the shadow attributes, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. And I feel like this is what we actually do to ourselves and to our inner child. We do not let this inner child's wisdom come forth. And so we're being asked as the moon shifts into Leo after all this stuff. And I got to mention, Friday the 13th this week. This Friday is Friday the 13th, which to me, the 13 is a goddess number. Friday is the day of Freya. So again, goddess energy. It's time to bring forth, bring forth the fun, bring forth the light of the inner child. Stop looking at things from this eye of the adult. Children can look at things and be like, this is figure-outable. I can see how I can get along with things. Children can also be the ones who are like, that's my sandbox. And I have been that child too at times. But that innocent child energy. And can you, as the inner parent, can you show up and mentor your inner child into this place of harmony? This place of harmony, it comes through the inner voice. It comes through you attuning to yourself. It comes through you allowing yourself. The ordinariness card, I love this card. This is one of my favorite ordinary cards in the deck. It's my favorite, kind of blah card, because it's kind of blah looking, let me be fair. And my inner child doesn't get excited when she sees it. But this card, what it says is there are gifts in this current moment. There are gifts in this situation. So using the light of your inner child, using the innocence of your inner child to find what is the gift in this energy. How do I let that sparkle within me shine? How do I come from a place of suppressing it? That's interesting because, you know, the Cancer Capricorn paradigm really can bring, you know, Cancer to me really connects with mother energy, and Capricorn is kind of father, grandfather. It can be patriarchal energy. So it's like, here comes the child right after we have this cross. Mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, they all had a showdown in this energy. And yet Jupiter holding that energy of self-love, connecting with Saturn, which is like shifting those old beliefs. And then the moon charging into Leo. And Friday the 13th is like, okay, you saw this big fight. You see where they're not participating. You see where they're not working together. How can you remedy this in yourself? Because a lot of times this conflict is mimicking this conflict that's within yourself. How do you find that peace with your inner adult and your inner child to let this child energy come forth? Dance in the rain. That's funny because it's been pouring here, and last night as it was coming down like in sheets, like just sheets of rain, I was like, I really just want to go outside and dance in the rain, even though it's like 1 a.m. right now. I want to go dance in the rain. I want to see how wet I get so fast. Like I feel like I could be soaked so fast. My inner child was like really inspired. The inner adult was not as inspired because I was like, I don't want to be cold all night long if I go get soaked right now. But can you dance in the rain? Can you dance in this energy? Can you dance in this light? And can you call forth, I don't know, the goddess, the divine goddess within you, God, goddess, whatever, you know, yin yang archetype you resonate with. Can you call forth this light through the child, through your innocence, and let it come through this gate? Because this gate is unlocked. It doesn't have to hold you back. That's just, it's old stuff. That's just the mentor in you that's like holding yourself back. Your mentor saying, be free, fly, take a chance, and take time to breathe. From this, it says, thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing you're here. So that's part of the mentoring too, knowing you've got this big light support behind you as you step forward into your life. I hope that made sense, but my inner child just wanted to come up and say that, all that stuff. So she did. Nicole?
So yeah, so as soon as we get off of that Grand Cross, what I'm getting from all of this is now it's time to go back to your ordinary world. So there's a bigger message to this for me. It's like we can look at the things outside of ourselves. And this is literally the politics card. We could see things that are going on in politics. We can go see things that are going on in the world. And that is just something that's mirroring our own masks or suppression or repression that we have in our ordinary world. So instead of giving our power away to the bigger picture, right, before we go and change the world, before we go and take on war, before we go, we have to look within ourselves and see the war within. Where can you show up as an individual, the war within your own life, and be able to mature that? Because I have the maturity card in reverse. That's where it is matured, because if we want our leaders, we want our world to change, you know, it's like, you know, you want the world to change, first we have to change ourselves. First we have to really begin to let go of the war within. And so through this energy, as Leo comes online, we go in the moon of Leo in this Friday the 13th, which can bring up fear. We have to go with the flow, and there's a slowing down card in reverse. Then we have to go within. The slowing down card with that turtle, it's like we resist going within. It's so much easier to deal sometimes with the external world and blame our external world, or see the mask that's in front of us, or the mirror that's in front of us, instead of going, oh, maybe whatever is happening and whatever triggering me is happening maybe right in my own backyard, right in my own house, maybe right in my own hips, maybe right in my own heart, you know. So we have to look within ourselves. It's the issue is closer to home, and that's not something that I'm doing to make you feel bad about yourself or judge you about, but it's easier, it really is easier to tend to ourselves, tend to our own wounds, tend to where we need to be loved before we can love others, before we can forgive others, before we can become the leader that needs to be seen in the world. So we might be the ones we're looking for. And it's okay to look at those things. It's okay to not shut ourselves away and avoid our own naysaying voices. And, you know, it's way easy to look and go, man, that's what's wrong with the world. Oh, yeah, ow, oh, that's the wound. Yep, that's what's wrong in the world. Ugh. And then as soon as we deal with this one, yay, that's not a trigger for you anymore. And then things can start moving and healing, and you can go with the flow within your own life. That's how the slave dances into freedom. Where is your own repression? Where is your own slavery? And where can we dance to our own freedom? That happens right here, right at home. Right at home. That's all. It's not as big. It's right here. Right here. Take care of yourself before you want to like take on the world. Right? Okay. That's it.
I love how many of the similar cards we've had, like with these.
Yes.
It's really not that it's a surprise. All right, so our last thing of the week, the moon is shifting into Virgo. It is shifting into Virgo on Saturday. And so we were talking beforehand, and it was like, okay, so we have this challenge, and then here comes the inner child, and now it's like back to balance. Virgo is like back into practical, practical, grounded energy. But I have interesting cards in this practical, grounded energy. And here's where it's going to be. Virgo energy is so practical and grounded, and it can be amazing in that state. But Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and that Mercury energy, that is mind, mental energy. And if there's something that can trip you up, it is the energy of the mind. And I've really got that here. I've got the stress card, which here we've got the monkey. This is the card where I'm like, you got to take your monkey out for a walk, which means you got to take your mind out for a walk. And I've got the trickster card. And that's what I'm thinking is like, the only thing that can trick you up in this Virgo energy that will get you ungrounded is your mind. And if it starts running and thinking all the things, recognize, take your monkey out for a walk. So Trickster says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So your mind has this power to help you transcend, some of these thoughts. The shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity, or maybe even your mind getting caught up in the illusion of duplicity. So we have this energy in it. Do not let yourself get tripped up from the light that you found through this process, through the centering that you found through this process. I've got the turning in card and the innocence card with this. So it's like, stay in your light, stay in that innocence, stay in your holiness. Know that to be the truth. Turn in. If you are finding yourself in your mind, the same thing that I've been saying all through this week is find the center. Oh, look at this nice ball of cat hair fluff that's on my arm. I am in my innocence. My inner child is bright. It's like, oh, let me play with the ball of fluff. Stay in your innocence. Stay in your playful. Stay in your joy. If your head starts spinning, which it may, and I don't mean exorcist style. I know. But if it starts spinning, how do you get into your physical body? And that, I actually pulled 2 archetype cards. And that's the other card that I have, is the athlete. And it's like the light attribute, dedicated to transcending physical limits. So both of these are about getting past your limits, the trickster and the athlete. Transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. That's focus. That's physical body focus. The shadow attribute, misuse of your ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability or entitlement. To me, it's like, listen to your body, get into your body, pay attention to your body. Your body getting in here, getting into this light is what's going to help you step into your ripeness. Because you're ripe, you're ready right now with this light. You're ready to show up and step up in who you are. But don't get caught up in those mental games. And my biggest mental game, just to be fair, we all have these things. My biggest mental game is not enough, it's not good enough, it's not perfect, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's where I will find myself spinning. Something good will happen, and I will immediately go there. Oh, this is how it's going to be undone. This is how it's not going to work. So really be aware of that, because peaks and valleys, as you shine your light, that light shines into the darkness, and that stuff will come up. Be aware of it so you don't necessarily take it as truth, but take it as shadow. Take it as these parts of yourself that you need to recognize within yourself, and then move through and win. Don't get caught up in that trickster. Helping you, divinely helping you, is Archangel Michael. You are protected. Thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. And you may need to call on Michael in this energy to be like, okay, I recognize where I still have these voices, where I still bring in this stinking thinking about who I am. Michael, help me clear and heal and cut these cords to these old voices. So we're getting a little practical with the moon in Virgo, but it's, again, practical about who we are and really stepping into that light.
Yeah. So what I have, I mean, I have very similar. It's like the thing that will take us out is our own mind, because it's that analysis paralysis thing that we can do with a Virgo, because I'm a Virgo. I get it. We can think things to death, and we can think over and over and over and over again. And so what I'm getting on in this is, as we ground it out, we have the We Are the World card. As we start grounding it out, there's still that that tendency to hold back that that fullness that you got, or maybe not even understand it. So you might want to put it into words. You might want to journal everything that you got this week. So when you want to doubt it, so when the self-doubt starts to come up, or again, it's like when something happens, it's like, oh, when is this going to all fall apart? Is this too good to be true? It's like, okay, when that doubt voice comes back up, because it just, like she says, the other flow, my particular one is, will I have enough? I'm a Virgo, so it's like the have. Like, I'm enough, but will I have enough? Will somehow the floor drop out from underneath me, and all of a sudden I'm not provided for anymore? There's my provider stuff, my provider issues, masculine issues. So yeah, because then, we want to hoard. If we don't feel like we are going to have enough, we hoard. We hoard ourselves, we hoard money, we hoard our resources, we hoard, you might have an opportunity come to you and it's not yours. And then we hoard it because we feel like we're in a state of lack, instead of giving it to the person who actually needs it. That kind of happened today with me. I'm like, oh no, I'm having to actually give, I'm giving an opportunity to Mimi, because I'm not an astrology expert. Somebody asked me to do astrology, and I referred them to Mimi. And it's like, Mimi's like, all right. So it's one of these things of, if it's not your opportunity, don't try to hoard things that aren't yours, because that's the breakthrough. That's when you can get guided to yours, to your successes, to your own guidance. When we don't try to take on every opportunity that comes to us, that might not be in the best. If we find ourselves that we're in that state of abundance, then if the opportunity is someone else's, awesome, give it to that, because then yours could come in. Because that might be your test of like, I'm going to dangle this carrot, but it's not, you don't like carrots, but you're scared you're not going to get fed. So you're latching onto the carrot that you don't even like. You don't even like it. So
on a parsnip.
Yeah, but then, you love parsnips, and then behind it is the cart with the parsnips. And that guy's going to come in, but if you hang out in the carrot cart, that's all you're going to get is yucky carrots that you don't even like them, right? So so stay in your story. Stay in a state of not lack, but state of, okay, is this mine? Is this, I don't have to hold on to things that aren't mine. I can let them go, and then go into my own success. What's my success? Not somebody else's opportunity. Because if we continue to say, well, we stay in that mind fog, then you're going to block the things that are trying to come to you. Stay in your own journey. Stay in your own journey. And when you get confused by the mind, get into your creativity, because creativity will show you that there's many colors, not just black and white. That there's many colors, and you don't have to just pick what is being showed in the moment, or pick what it's just any opportunity that comes to you, because we're in this fear of lack. It's like, if that's not the job opportunity, if that's not the relationship, there's a guy that comes in and you're like, but I'm so lonely and I'm just going to go with him, and he's a complete a-hole. It's like, wow, what are you doing? You're selling yourself short because of lack. That's total crap. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short because you think you're in lack. There's plenty. There's plenty for everybody. Money. There's plenty of people, relationships. There's plenty of opportunities. There's plenty of friends. But find the ones that resonate, that align with you. Don't take anything that's not yours. You don't need that. That's being greedy. Like, I see the little guy from the labyrinth that has like all the little things on its back and it's like walking around. It's like, don't do that. You don't do that. That's a bunch of junk that they, do you know what I mean? Maybe being in the labyrinth.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here totally resonating. And I don't even know that it's greedy. I feel like it's that fear. And it's like, again, it's forget everything and run. You're like, there's a thing I'm running into these carrots because, oh my God, carrots. And it's like, like carrots make you sick. Don't eat the carrots. And let me just say, I personally love carrots. I drink carrot juice every day. So I love the carrots.
No, you wouldn't eat soy. It's a soy cart. Mimi's eating the soy cart and breaking out. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Because it's the only thing. Don't fall into that. And you know what I have written here? Because I wrote it down here last night because I was like, oh, it just keeps coming up. And I actually posted it with my horoscope last night. It's one of my favorite Rumi lines. It's like, if you can let go of your tricks and cleverness, that would be the cleverest trick. And that's, to me, like, that's the ultimate mind game. Letting go of thinking that you have to outsmart the universe, because you don't. You don't have to outsmart the universe and be like, oh, the universe is sending me carrots because it wants to see if I'm willing to take what's being given to me. Don't play the mind games. Feel into your body, the yum or the yuck. Feel into your light. They'll tell you, your body will be like, carrots. No. I want a parsnip. Like, your body has that wisdom. So just stop the tricks and cleverness. You don't have to prove that you're smarter than the universe. You are the universe. You don't have to prove it,
Yeah, every time you think your ego thinks that it's smarter than the universe, your face will be face first in the freaking mud. And it just is what it is. Every time that I think I've outsmarted the universe, they're like, yeah, okay, that's funny. Like, and you get that, you're eating crow, you're eating humble pie. I'm like, I'm so sick of eating humble pie. And they're like, then surrender. Like, don't try to outsmart me, smarty pants. Yes, you're very smart. Here's your gold star. There you go, Nikki. Are you happy with your gold star? Yeah. Okay. So let go and let us take it. Oh, a crow. It tastes really gross. I don't like it.
And you can tell we've both been here where we have tried to outsmart the universe. We're very well versed in this.
I'm a Virgo Gemini rising. I've tried to outsmart the universe many times. That shit don't work.
It's Gemini rising. It's all about the mind. I know what's going on. I've got this. I've got it figured out. Nope.
Yes, you're very smart. Very good. Whatever. Stop it.
Yep, exactly. So that's how we finish up this week. Taking our monkeys out for the walk and leaving behind the need to be the smartest person in the world. Because what's the fun in that? It's more fun in, ooh, what's this? Let's discover.
Do you know who one of the smartest people in the world is? Stephen Hawking. Do you want that life? No. So don't do it. Don't try to outsmart the universe, because the universe will sit you in a wheelchair and make you speak out of an electronic device. Don't try to outsmart the universe. I don't want to be the smartest man in the world, but I would like to connect to the wisdom of God. And that's through the heart, not the mind.
I think that's the perfect way to wrap it up. So that's it for this week. My sale.
Her sale is frozen, apparently. No, Mimi. She'll be back. That's so silly how that works. All right. Well, if you want to book a reading from me, you can do that at NicoleOman.com. I also have some webinars coming up. I'm going to be teaching a tarot class. It's going to be half videos and then half practical with me, where you're going to be learning how to read the cards. And that starts probably in the beginning of February. So keep an eye out on my site and all the things for that, because It's going to be really cool. I'm actually recording a bunch of videos for it, so you will have that forever too. So if you want to go back to a lesson, you have access for it forever. That's about it. How about you, Mimi? What's your sale?
My sale is pretty much, it's done. Like, it's in the last couple days. I'm going to be shifting it. But, you know, if you're watching this at the beginning part of the week, you can still reach out. You can still, I'm working with some people with payment plans. So if that's something that you're curious with, you want to work with me for the year of 2017, I love all the people that are signing up. It's so fun to meet monthly. And it's really just a great time to connect in where the energies are, connect in with what's going on with you. And it's also a great way to learn astrology. So, you know, if you're watching this beginning part of the week, reach out to me, mimiclark@gmail.com or Gaia Blooming, or you can do it on Facebook. You know, find me all the ways. But that's going to end, and I don't have any new offerings coming up yet until Divine Inspiration hits. So yeah, magic. That's it for this week. We made it 2 weeks in a row. Minor technology glitches. Yay.
New computer, new computer.
Yeah, new computer. That's happening this week too, as soon as I can get out of my house and get to the store. So yay. So we'll see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.